Hello, this is David with entry number 382. So apparently I messed up the numbering again, so apologies for that. But apparently this is entry 382. I'm currently in the middle of watching the Cinemax original series called The Nick. And if you haven't watched it or haven't even heard of it, I would highly suggest checking it out because it's a very, very well done series. Very high production value. It was shot in New York City and takes place in New York City in the turn of the last century. So that would be 1900. It takes place at a hospital called the Knickerbocker, and it's a very kind of not a very successful hospital because it's being kind of run with well, okay, I won't go into the minutia of the show, but it's about the lead surgeon, the head surgeon, and kind of his turmoil within the hospital. It's very, very graphic, so if you're not good with a lot of blood, I wouldn't suggest maybe watching it or maybe going a little easy on the food before you eat or before you see it, because they're in the first episode they do perform a not an emergency, but they just perform a C-section on a woman. And the amount of blood that they siphon off of her is outstanding. They used a very rudimentary vacuum system where there was a circular crank, and some poor nurse had to crank this thing. It was a circle, and they cranked it, and it created a suction. And they had a little rubber hose, and they sucked all of the blood out of her abdomen, and they had these little quart-sized glass containers, and they filled like 4 of them. So there's a lot of blood. They show the baby getting pulled out of the mother, and the baby getting its umbilical cord cut, and it's a graphic show, but the acting is very high caliber. It stars Clive Owen, who's a British actor who's kind of fallen out of favor in Hollywood in the last few years, so he's done this show. Like when in Hollywood, almost never do actors want to do TV. They always want to do movies, and when they end up doing TV, it's usually because they're compensating or they're settling. Now, very few cases there are sometimes where actors do choose to go into television, but those are few and far between most of the time. If it's something like on HBO, then I think sometimes they'll want to do that, but most of the time they're not really going after television roles. So there's that. I highly recommend The Nick, though. It's quite good. What I wanted to talk about today was, I haven't been talking about it in my videos because I've been recording in the morning, and I kind of forget about it in the morning, and then I go through school and it becomes raw again. But I've been having issues at school, but not really serious ones, just ones that have kind of annoyed me and kind of been frustrating, and it's mostly just due to a cultural difference. Basically, I had my classroom decorated. I get my own classroom. Some people in TOP don't, but I had my own. I have my own, and I decorated it with the students' work. So I have them do art projects, and then we decorate the classroom with said art projects. And unfortunately, the new vice principal did not like my decorations, and so she had me, or not, she didn't have me, she just took all the decorations down before I could tell the kids. So she had told me on Wednesday, and then didn't take them down Wednesday because I was going to tell them on Thursday, and then I was going to take them down after school on Thursday. But instead, I came into class on Thursday, and they were all gone. So I was very distraught over that. Very distraught. And then, she'd like clean the classroom and all that stuff, so I was pretty pissed. But, I kind of gotten over it. It was, it's frustrating. I feel bad for the kids, but, that's kind of how it is. So yeah, there's that. And that's really all the drama I've had, but, it has been a little frustrating for me, to be honest. Excuse me for a second. And then this morning I felt really sick, so I didn't go to school. But other than that, things have been things have been fine, just a little more difficult than I'd like. It's hard because I think the vice principal role at all schools is a little difficult because they're the ones who actually do all the work here in Korea. Principals are people on their way to retirement. Being a principal at an elementary school is seen as kind of like a part-time retirement plan, where you barely do any work and you go in for as many hours as you want. So like usually between 6 and 5, and you don't have to do really any administration. You're kind of like the grease man. You kind of butter up the parents and the local community and all that kind of stuff, but you're not actually doing any administration work, if at all. The vice principal is the one who gets all the work, all the administrative work. So, and it's double hard on my new one because she's new, and because it's a female. So I do understand that she has like a lot on her shoulders, but what I don't understand is the fact that there are other teachers with stuff on their walls and outside of their classrooms and on their windows who get to hang stuff, but I don't. But that's neither here nor there, I suppose. In the end, it comes down to my experience and not theirs. And so from there, I think I'll say I'm frustrated, but it's not the end of the world, and I'm not going to blow it out of proportion. This weekend I am going to go into Seoul. I'm not going to meet my sister, which was originally the plan, and I'm just going to meet up with some friends, and we'll see how things go. I don't really think I'm going to spend the night, but things could happen. We'll see. Other than that, everything's good. I'm enjoying my time here. The weather has been marvelous, and I really appreciate the weather, and it's just been good. So other than that, I think that's about it. Tomorrow I'll try and record at night, but I might not. Excuse me, that's embarrassing. And so I'll try and record at night, but we'll see. We'll see how the battery is on this phone. But if not, I'll do a double take on Sunday. So thanks for watching. This has been entry number 382, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.